Hi, and welcome to another episode of Rosemary Live. Today we're going to be talking about George Costanza. No, not really George Costanza, but actually how I George Costanza'd my morning routine. Some of you might remember there was an episode of Seinfeld where George decided that he was a loser and everything he did went wrong, so he was going to decide to, instead of doing this, he was going to do the exact opposite of what his instinct was. So he took everything, whatever his gut reaction was, he was going to do something, he decided to do the opposite, and he suddenly was successful. So, I'm always into experimenting and trying to level up and make things better. So I have now come up with my George Costanza-based ADART system. And that's assess, decide, act, review, tweak. ADART. It's catchy, isn't it? So I'll show you where this whole thing started. I realized that my mornings were not getting off to a great start, and I was reading a lot about mindset. I actually read Carol Dweck's book, Mindset, which is a classic. Everyone should read it, and I finally got around to it. But then one day I decided I'm going to actually do something about this. I'm going to shift my mornings, and the first thing I did was assess. So here was my assessment. And I won't really show it because it's embarrassing. My handwriting is terrible. So all I did was on one side of the paper, and that's my paper planner. I'm a paper person for the most part. On one side is my normal morning routine. And then I looked at each item in the list and I came up with my ideal, what would be the opposite of that? If I were going to do one thing, what is the opposite of that thing? So that's when you get to the decide part. So the assessment actually didn't take very long, and I'll just say, my old normal routine, I'm looking in here, it's kind of embarrassing, so please don't make fun of me. But I used to check my email in the bathtub. Oh my gosh, who does that? Hopefully none of you are doing that. Then get dressed. Then I used to do my makeup and that part of my routine in like a powder room bathroom so that I could listen to podcasts and stuff like that and drink my coffee while I was doing my makeup and stuff. And that was like suboptimal. It was just sort of weird being outside of my own bedroom. It's just weird. So here's what I did to do the opposite of that. I decided that the opposite of a bath is a shower. And the cool thing about shifting from a bath to a shower in the morning is that, hey, we've got a cameo in the background. The cool thing about that is you pretty much can't check emails in the shower. So score one for the new routine. I also decided that I was worthy of actually doing my hair and my makeup and stuff in my own bathroom. There's no reason for me to go into another room just so I could be quiet and not wake anyone up. So, I'm still not blasting AC/DC or anything, but I'm doing it in my own bathroom. Then I am the one who feeds the cat in the morning, so then I decided it's time to feed the cat, open the dog door, let the dogs out because they're penned in overnight, and get my coffee during that time frame. And the final big tweak of the routine and thinking about mindset was actually being intentional about how I was waking up. So in the old phase, I would kind of ramble through my trying to be comfortable and slowly waking up routine and just kind of drift into my workday with no clear shift in attitude, basically. I could roll out of bed, do my thing, and start working on whatever happened to be on my desk first. In the new routine, I decided that I was going to try and find some kind of priming routine that would help me just do a total mindset shift. And I think I mentioned this before, but I do like some Tony Robbins. And it just so happens there is a YouTube capture of Tony Robbins' priming routine, and I will put it up for you. I'll put a link so that you can see it. But I found that this little YouTube click really helped me do a complete mindset shift. You may find something else that works better for you, some other type of routine, but the idea behind it is having an intentional shift in your focus. The Tony Robbins priming routine actually takes you through several steps. It takes about 15 minutes, and that was the end of my morning routine before the actual office routine and all of that starts in the day. And that's a whole separate subject we can talk about. I injected the Tony Robbins priming routine at the end of my morning at the house. So that was kind of the last thing I did before I left the house. And I did already see fruits from this shift. I think it launched me into my working day with a whole different way of looking at things and a different attitude, a different mindset, if you will. And I think the overarching concept is to actually make a decision and don't drift and float. Don't be floating in an inner tube down the river. You want to be actually paddling your canoe when you're starting your day. So that's the act piece of my ADART. So we've assessed, we've decided what we're going to do, and then we take action. So I actually did do this. I've done it. I think I actually, what is this? All right, this is July in my planner. So that was when I actually did this assessment, and I'm doing this podcast at the end of October. And I think it's really helped my days get off to a more productive start. It kind of puts you in a place of energy and gratitude. I think I already told you I am not eating breakfast. So this whole routine, there was plenty of time to actually do this mindset shift and really get into a state where I could accomplish things. But the last two pieces of the system are review and tweak. And I've definitely done that as well. You can't be hardcore every single morning. You may have to pivot some mornings. So I think what I found is that you can't be too rigid with the routine as long as the components are there. And I found that as long as I end with the priming, intentional priming, it's all good. So those pieces, I have continued to stick with doing all of the opposite things because I found that they've really helped me. But I have reordered things from time to time. I know if you're anything like me, you read those articles where it says 5 things Jeff Bezos does every morning to be a billionaire, things like that. Really, it's all about you deciding what's best for your day and what gets you into a state where you can actually achieve what you're trying to achieve. So the final piece is tweaking. Don't be too rigid and set on exactly what you're going to do that you feel like you can't change anything. And, the accountability comes to yourself. So just think about what is serving you and your family and your workspace and your job. What is getting you off to the best start for the day? So, bottom line, I'd say the George Costanza experiment was highly successful, and I recommend it, especially if you feel like you're stuck in a rut and you have been doing things the same way for a really long time. I was the type of kid who used to randomly rearrange my bedroom furniture for no reason out of the blue, and I think this all stems from that same desire to get out of the rut, get out of the comfort zone, see things from a new perspective. So I would just encourage you, take a shot, maybe over the weekend, this weekend, sit down, write down your morning routine, and then look at what would be the opposite of that. And maybe it'll give you the kick in the pants that you need to get that mindset shift and get things going. So let me know in the comments, subscribe, hit the bell so that you get alerted when I have new content as well. And I'm going to keep doing this every Friday. Please feel free to come and join the comments. Let me know how your experiment went. Everybody have a wonderful week.